welcome your hosts to the Iron Viz stage, Louis Archer and Archana Ganeshalingam.
Buenas tardes.
Good dag.
Bonjour.
Dobry den.
Good afternoon.
And of course, guten Tag.
Hello, Berlin. We're so excited to be here for the third annual installment of Tableau's Iron Viz Championship Europe Edition. It's just like the American one, but more brilliant and less awesome. I'm Archana Ganeshalingam.
And I'm Louis Archer. Good afternoon, everyone. You're joining us alongside some of the most incredible Vizzers in the Tableau community to answer the simplest of questions. Whose Viz will reign supreme?
Iron Viz is the premier analytical competition in the world, and today we're going to be joined on stage by three incredible contestants. They were selected through a feeder competition where they created and shared Vizzes about energy and sustainability.
So in the next 20 minutes or so, they'll be creating another Viz right here on stage to share with you all and of course with our panel of judges as we seek to find out who will be Iron Viz Champion 2019. Now before we go any further, let's get them up onto the stage. Introducing,
all the way from Poland, it's Anna Jakowska and her supervisor, Tom Christian. Go ahead. With her Viz on coal plants and their effect on our health. Let's give them both a big hand.
Woo! From the Netherlands, it's Tristan Schouten and his supervisor, Sofia Bratus. He's in the final thanks to this Viz about energy independence.
And finally, from Munich, it's Simon Stusak and his supervisor, Mark Montanari. Welcome, Simon and Mark.
Now, of course, no competition is complete without judges. Introducing last year's Iron Viz champion and newly anointed Tableau Zen Master, Klaus Schultz. Tableau Zen Master and Iron Viz contestant, Anne Jackson. Tableau's own Rafi Zelikovsky. And data guru, author, magician, evangelist, and analytics professional of the year 2018, Andy Cotgrave.
We're so excited to have such a wonderful team on Vizzers up on stage, and I know we're going to see some incredible creations today. But before we get started, audience, we need your help to select today's winner.
That's right, we need you to tweet us your favorite Viz. And when you tweet, include the hashtag IV.
Yeah.
So, for Anna, tweet hashtag IV Anna. For Tristan, tweet hashtag IV Tristan. And for Simon? That's right, you do learn quickly. You can only vote once per contestant, but you can vote for multiple contestants if you simply can't decide on a favorite. We'll count the tweets until a minute or so after our judges' questions at the end of the show.
Now, Data Fam, we know you had a lot to say about the Twitter voting, and we've loved hearing from you. Thanks to your feedback, we're scoring the Twitter votes just a little bit differently this year. We have 10 points to share between our contestants based on the votes they get from you. So your tweets can make all the difference between first and last place. So please do get involved and support your favorite.
That's right. Now, the rest of the judging is objective and will be handled by our panel of experts. So we're going to quickly find out what they're looking for. Our judges will score each Viz against 3 criteria: design, analysis, and storytelling. Each of these criteria is of equal importance, so each one is weighted the same. At the end, we tally up the points, add in the Twitter scores, and the vizzer with the highest score will be crowned our champion. Seems pretty straightforward to me. It's a difficult job for them. Now, Archana, there's one question we have not yet answered. Can you tell us a little bit more about what our contestants are going to be vizzing today?
Indeed, Louis. Well, we're thrilled to announce we've got some data from everyone's favorite European competition. No, it's not the Champions League, it's not the Great British Bake Off, or indeed Das Großbacken. Hopefully I said that right. It's not the Six Nations nor the Bundesliga. It is, of course, drumroll please. Ready? That's right, it's Eurovision, or should I say Euroviz on?
Ah, Archana, you're getting the hang of this job very, very quickly.
Why, thank you, Louis. For those of you that don't know what Eurovision is, you have no idea what you've been missing out on. Louis, can you explain?
It would be my pleasure. It's an annual singing competition where Europe's finest singers, dancers, and entertainers come together to put on the greatest show on television. And in a striking parallel to the Brexit negotiations, there are no guarantees at Eurovision other than that the UK will finish last.
Yes, we're delighted to bring a touch of the Eurovision magic to TC this year. The glamour, the talent, and of course the silliness. Hopefully, we'll learn some amazing things about the contest, and we might even answer the most fascinating question of all.
Why are Australia allowed to take part? Beyond me. So, without further ado, it's our great pleasure to get things started. Contestants, you've created something incredible to get you to this point and on the stage today. But now is your time to dare to viz. Your task is to create the finest visual story in the room. Mice at the ready.
Start vizzing in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Allez viz!
And they're off. And now, rather than hearing Louis' best impression of a Eurovision power ballad, sorry, Louis, maybe next time, let's spend a moment or two introducing to our fantastic panel of judges. Let's start with Anne Jackson, who is a Tableau Zen master joining us for the week all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. Anne, it's a pleasure to have you here with us. As an American, what do you know about Eurovision?
Before this week? Absolutely nothing. Today, I can kind of synthesize it down to Song Olympics, all of Europe and Australia, and I'm quite disturbed by what I've heard.
Hopefully the data can help you figure it out. And what are you hoping to see from our contestants today?
I'm looking for elegance and harmony. I want to see the 3 different points, analysis, design, and storytelling, really come together in harmony. A little bit of elegance and maybe some sparkle.
Thank you very much indeed. There is nothing wrong with sparkle. Now, our next judge is the reigning Iron Viz European champion and a newly announced Tableau Zen master. He's back on stage, but this time on the other side of the table. It's the man with the greatest professional title in vizzing. It is Professor Dr. Klaus Schultz. Klaus, it's great to have you back. What advice do you have for our contestants today?
Yeah, my advice is they've known the data for some days now, they've done their analysis, they designed their vizzers, they found stories in the data, and just stick to your plan, stay calm, and impress us.
Easy.
Amazing. Thank you, Klaus. And now on to our own Tableau judges. First up, we have Rafi Zelikovsky, one of Tableau's own who spent 5 years helping customers see and understand their data, and was so good at it we gave her an even bigger challenge, helping us sort out our own data. And my oh my, is there a lot of it. Rafi, you judged last year's contest, but since then we've released 4 new versions of Tableau. Are you hoping to see some shiny new stuff today?
Has it only been 4? Feels like so much more. I am definitely. I think one of my favorite features since last year is being able to show and hide containers. So I'd love to see that from the contestants. And then otherwise, I think, given the data, I'd love to just see a great use of maps, especially vector maps, and see what they come up with.
Thank you very much indeed, Rafi. Now, last but by no means least, it is data guru, author, magician, evangelist, and analytics person of the year 2018, Andy Cockgreave. Andy, at what point in the competition can I stop addressing you by that full title?
You can just call me Andy.
Oh, thank you so much. Now, we know that you have a lot to say about all things data viz related. What can our contestants do to really impress you today?
Well, I think for me, they've all done amazing things to get here by building stellar visualizations that work well on a screen. They're now in a room with an enormous screen presenting a story to thousands of beautiful people. Look at you all. You're all very beautiful. So I want to see them adopt the techniques that are necessary to tell a story on a big screen to thousands of people.
Thank you very much indeed, Andy. Now, for the first time in Iron Viz, we have some voices in our head. Actually, we're going to pop over to Mark for just a moment. And Mark, tell us a little bit about that bump chart that Simon's getting going right now.
Yep, of course. First and foremost, and 2, 1, 2.
Your mic is...
I don't have any sound, unfortunately.
It'd be lovely if we could get Mark's microphone on.
1, 2. So we can see, oh, perfect. So first and foremost, you will discover that Simon, his motto is to keep things clear and self-explanatory. So to do that, he's going to use the newest features, for example, set action, parameter action. And I hear some folks, Tableau folks, are really excited about that. But let's summarize. Here we look at a bar chart. So you use that basically because you want to rank every countries of the Eurovision across the different years. And we're going to see that as kind of starting point of our analysis, basically.
Thank you very much indeed, Mark. Now, let's introduce you a little bit more to our contestants, and we shall start with Anna. Now, Anna is a researcher and an assistant professor at Nicholas Copernicus University. She's only been using Tableau for a year. Now, I don't know about you, Archana, but actually she has a lot of similarities with a certain doctor professor we have over there on the judges' table. Might we see another winner from the academic community? Who knows? She's found a broader community within the Tableau community in Project Health Viz and cites Lindsay Betzendahl as her inspiration. She's got over 150 vizzes favorited on her Tableau public profile. And for fun, she dabbles in meditative yoga, getting up at 5 a.m. to practice, and goes up the steepest water slides.
Our next contestant is also a doctor. Many smart people up on stage here. Dr. Simon Stusak, who's a senior BI specialist over at Hotman Analytics. He's been using Tableau for 2 years now and lives in Munich. He'd like to give a shout out to the Makeover Monday team and all the participants for creating such an inspirational project. Simon has a PhD in, and now get ready for this, exploring the potential of physical visualizations from the human-computer interaction group. At the LMU in Munich. It involves him physically making visualizations with 3D printers based on people's running and fitness data. Sounds pretty interesting. And if that wasn't enough, he's toured playing the saxophone in ska bands, he hates washing up the dishes, and he once single-handedly shut down a museum in Italy. We could go on, but you might want to ask him yourselves about all of that after the competition.
Now, our final contestant is Tristan Schuten. Tristan is a consultant with Infotopics and spends his days helping people put their data to good use. Tristan's been using Tableau since January of 2018, which, if you think about it, is pretty incredible. We have 3 people who are all relatively new to Tableau, and just look at where they are today. His inspiration is his colleague and friend Emily Mars, and he called out Zen Master Merline Bytes' animated solar system viz as something that simply blew his mind. Now, he's doing a triathlon in Amsterdam, Olympic standard, later on this month, and he might want to ask Simon to get the 3D printer out if, of course, they're still friends at the end of this fierce, fierce competition. Now, let's jump over to Sophia. I hear Tristan is taking a look at something map-related. Maybe it's a slightly custom map we're seeing there. Maybe you could elaborate on that a little bit more.
So it only looks like a map. So in essence, it is not a map. It is a scatter plot, which uses the custom shapes. And inside, Tristan will place the bar chart, which will indicate the number of points given and received to certain countries. So it is a map, but it's not.
A map that's not a map. Perfect. Alrighty.
Amazing. It's probably time to check in with the rest of our SUVizzers as well. For those of you that are new to Tableau's IronViz, our SUVizzers are hand-picked Tableau product experts that have been paired with each contestant in the run-up to today. They've been helping our Vizzers get the data ready using Tableau Prep Builder. Tom, I know Anna used Tableau Prep extensively to get her dataset in tip-top condition before building her Viz. With only 2 datasets to work with, can you explain what magic she actually worked?
Sure. So notably this year, the data was fairly messy. It's fairly raw, so there are a lot of steps to clean. So if you see on the screen now, you should see lots and lots of different nodes. Most of these are to clean. But importantly, you'll see there are aggregate steps too. Now, these aggregate steps are actually in the place of LOD calculations. So what Anna's done is effectively pre-computed her fixed calculations in prep, joined it back together so they can be used quickly and efficiently for the time she's got today.
Thank you very much indeed, Tom. Sophia, Tom's mentioned it, the data was a little bit messy. What did Tristan use Tableau Prep for?
So as Tom mentioned, data is never clean, so Tableau Prep is really good to actually clean up the data. So that's what Tristan did, and he also used that to combine multiple tables of data to bring everything together. Ooh, I know, it's really exciting. So yeah, that's what Tableau Prep is good for. But not only, lastly, Tristan used that to do data scaffolding for his map, which is actually not a map, that he's going to see quite soon.
Thank you, Sophia.
And Mark, what has Simon done in Tableau Prep?
Thank you for asking, Archana. Well, for obvious reasons, some data cleaning, so smart cleaning, some joining, and filtering the data to like this final round of the Eurovision contest. But Simon taught me really great techniques that you can apply as well. So those techniques are going to provide like really deep analytics in his dashboard. I have 2 favorites. The first one is basically unioning the data set itself. So the dashboard, the map actually, is going to provide data insight from the country giving the points to the country receiving. And the favorite one is a smart URL generation, but I'll leave it to Simon at the end of the time to show it to you.
Thank you, Mark. Now, Louis, things are progressing quickly here, so we're going to head over to our judges now and hear their thoughts. Rafi, where do you think these vizzers are headed?
I think they're going amazing places. I'm really excited to see what the end product looks like. What I love is the attention to detail. I see them really focusing on things like tooltips and labels and color schemes. Those are the important, woo for tooltips. I do appreciate that. I think those little details really make all the difference in this kind of competition.
Thank you very much indeed, Rafi. Now, Klaus, you've been here before. We're actually just over halfway already. Time flies when you're visiting and having fun. You've been here before, Klaus. Tell us, what do you think the contestants are feeling right now? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, I think they were very focused and they are doing their job. And I think at this point of the competition last year, I almost forgot my dashboard actions. So double check to have them in it and then just go on doing this stuff. And you will have done a fantastic job in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Klaus. And the voices in my head, again, are telling me that Anna's doing something interesting with reverse axis. Tom, can you explain?
So you've actually just missed it, but the way that Anna's used this is the use of reverse axis to create effectively a chart that's a simple bar chart, but reverse looks quite like a piano. So you'll see lots of musical themes being brought into Anna's dashboard today, and that's just one of them.
Thank you, Tom. And now we're going to head live to our on-the-ground correspondent. And unlike Eurovision, he's just over there. Hi, Louis.
Hello.
And hopefully, that means unlike Eurovision, there won't be any of that awkwardness that reminds us all of conference calls going horribly wrong. He has some IronViz fanatics with him in the audience that we'd love to hear from. Louis, can you hear me? No, I think I might be on mute. No, it's you. You need your microphone.
Archana, I hear you loud and clear. Now, I'm here with Sarah Bartlett. Now, Sarah runs the Iron Quest program. Sarah, I don't know much about it. Could you tell our audience what it's all about?
Sure. So Iron Quest is based on the format of the feeders for IronViz. I founded it in January this year. The idea is I pick a theme, and people go away, find the data on that theme and build a viz. They submit the viz, and then I actually provide feedback with people from the community.
So totally community-driven, all volunteering, and what's the big hope for the program? Hoping to get some contestants up onto the stage?
Well, yeah, already have. So we've got Anna up there. She's participated in every single Iron Quest that I've run this year so far. And also Josh, who's just qualified for IronViz in the US. He's the first feeder winner this year. So clearly it works.
Pretty amazing stuff there. I'm going to move on to Lorna here, who runs another community program, Workout Wednesday. Same question to you, Lorna. Tell everybody all about it.
So Workout Wednesday is we create visualizations that people have to recreate. So we give them the viz, and then we give them a set of requirements, and then they have to recreate that viz based on the requirements that we've got. So we use table calcs, LODs, so it gives them a skills-based platform to work out.
Sounds like a pretty tough workout, the sort of thing that I certainly wouldn't be able to do. What's the skill level like? I mean, do I have to be an expert, or can I start as a beginner?
You can definitely start as a beginner, and it will definitely improve your skills.
Well, I know what I'll be doing later this afternoon. Back to you in the studio, Archana.
Thank you, Louis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're well over halfway through our contestants' 20 minutes, and we have a special announcement to make. We've got our own exciting news this week, so listen up. If you're enjoying watching our contestants work with music data on stage today and thinking you might quite fancy a go, well, now is your time to compose your own data tune.
That's right. Now you too can play with music data for the chance to compete live on stage at Tableau Conference in Las Vegas in November. Today, we're announcing the theme of our second global feeder competition, music. Find any music-related dataset, create a visualization, and submit your entry by July the 21st.
You heard it here first, folks. Find any music data you want, whip up a viz, and get your entries in now.
So more details can be found on Twitter and on the Iron Viz page on the Tableau website. We're just really excited to see what you all come up with.
And now it's time to go back to our Sous Vizzers to see how things are coming along. Tom, again, we'll start with you. Where's Anna at the moment?
Anna's now in the fun stage. This is where all of it comes together. So she's actually right now building the final pieces of her dashboard. So I think, if anything, she'll probably be done in the next 2 to 3 minutes. Let's see.
Fighting
no
talk.
pressure.
Thank you very much indeed, John. There's nothing like having a contestant finish early, drop the mouse, and just look over coolly, sweat off brow. Sophia, tell us a little bit more about what Tristan's up to. He looks like he's in the final stages as well. Give us a little insight into that.
So we're also at the final stages. We're putting the dashboard all together, and currently Tristan is doing formatting with his layout container.
Amazing. Thank you, Sophia. And Mark, can you explain what Simon is up to now?
Yes, of course. So obviously dashboarding, like everything is pretty ready. So what he's going to add now is, I'm sure Judge Rafi is going to be happy. He's going to bring show height container to 2 exceptional features he's going to add as his dashboard.
Thank you very much indeed, Mark. Now, earlier we spoke to a couple of our judges, but don't worry, Andy. We were always going to come back to you. What do you think of what you're seeing on the screen so far?
You know, I'm really enjoying the use of color on all of these, and they're all taking 3 different but very successful approaches. So Anna's got this great magenta and gray. You know, building a dashboard with just one color on it is extremely powerful. So all the data is highlighting very clearly. The piano metaphor looks like it's going to build out into something really beautiful, a nice visual metaphor to play with. And then I just love just the subtle use of a few colors in the middle as well. So yeah, color is really good.
Thank you, Andy. And Anne, do you think any of our vizzers have Zen Master potential?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys have been hitting on it all afternoon. I think about being a Zen Master, and the essence of it is community, and I don't think that there's anything that demonstrates community more than participating in this feeder and being here today. The other aspects are mastery, and I've seen so many amazing techniques already. I'm excited to see what happens and where their futures are headed.
Thank you very much indeed, Anne. Now, Archana, we're approaching the end, the last 3 minutes or so of our competition. Let's talk a bit more about Eurovision. I've heard you've got some really interesting family traditions when it comes to the big show. Could you care to elaborate for our audience what that's all about?
Indeed, Louis. We gather around the TV as a family to watch every single year. Everyone but one member, my dad, who likes to skip all the performances and only tunes in for the voting from around Europe, purely because he likes listening to all the different accents from around the world.
Sounds like a pretty smart move to me. Ignore all of the sequins and just get to the data.
Are you sure? Your jacket says otherwise.
I will never give up the sequins. Now, we also saw some interesting things in the keynote yesterday. Your day-to-day as a product consultant with Tableau, is helping our customers see and understand their data. Yesterday, we saw explain data for the very first time. Does that mean you're going to be out of a job?
No, Louis, of course not. It does mean, though, that when I get sent a data set that I know nothing about, I'm going to get a jump start on where to begin. With explained data, I'm going to be able to answer why faster and discover insights I might have never had found before.
Understood, understood. We're really excited to see how all of you put explain data through its paces once we're at beta stage. Now, we've got a couple of minutes left. I think maybe it's time to just check in with our vizzers once again. Mark, we're going to come to you first. We're looking at kind of final polishes on the dashboards. What's going on with Simon there?
Really the final touch here. He added the show-hide container, he's adding the interactivity. Now it's like looking at basically, the little button. But what is nice is every part of this dashboard is going to be clickable. So anyone is going to be able to get insight from it, and it's going to be extremely easy.
Thank you very much, Mark. Sophia, same to you. Where are we at with Tristan's Viz? Are we approaching it finished?
So currently we're setting up interactivity, so dashboard actions.
Aha,
You know the
perfect.
clue.
Thank you very much. Tom, I just saw a fist bump there. Are you guys done?
Almost.
Finished?
Well,
Almost. Premature celebration.
thought we were done.
Thought we were done, but not quite.
Now we're done. Now we're done.
Got it. Well, very well done. So we have just a minute left. Doesn't 20 minutes fly when we are so very, very busy? Now, it would be remiss of us as hosts if we were not to remind you of the voting that you can take part in on Twitter. Please do tweet for your favorite contestant, and do remember, use the hashtag IV and the contestant's name. So for Anna, it's hashtag IV Anna. For Tristan, hashtag IV Tristan. And for Simon, it's hashtag IV Simon. We have 30 seconds left on our clock. That means it's nearly time for the final countdown. We would love it if you would count down from 10 with us. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mice down!
Ooh. Oh no. Mice down!
Let's hear it for our contestants and their vizzers for a great live vizzing show! And we can breathe again. Just like that, it's over. Everyone can breathe a little easier. But what an amazing 20 minutes that we've just had. Look at the incredible things that our contestants have created.
Now, it's not just about the vizzers you're seeing on screen. We finally are now going to hear from our vizzers themselves and give them a chance to walk us through their masterpieces.
That's right. Our contestants will now just spend a few minutes talking us through their viz, and our judges will have the opportunity to ask them some questions.
Louis, why don't you head over with the microphone? Let's hear what they have to say.
It would be my pleasure. Anna, congratulations. You made it through the 20 minutes. How are you feeling?
Fantastic.
Would you care to tell us, speechless, would you care to tell us a little bit about your viz?
Okay, so if you want to know who will win Eurovision contest, you should consult with viewers from these highlighted 5 countries: Hungary, Israel, United Kingdom, Finland, and Sweden. These countries, highlighted on my first context chart, were most active Eurovision participants and the best in picking the winner in last 20 years. I assumed that top 3 countries that awarded winner the highest average points in last 20 years, both jury or televoting, have the biggest predictive power. In jury option, among top 3 countries, we have Hungary, Israel, United Kingdom. In televoting option, we have Hungary, Finland, and Sweden. Historically, each year within last 20 years, there was almost always at least one of these highlighted countries among those perfectly predicted winners. I can prove it. Let's play and start the show. Okay, so first, we can observe that each year the share of participants and the number of countries that awarded winner 12 points was different. All of these differences, the highlighted countries you can trust most remain stable. Let's check it randomly and play the piano. First, maybe let's press the piano key in 2000. Oh, what can we see? The winner, the Eurovision winner was Denmark. We have information about the performers, about the song. Next chart is the distribution of the points. And we can see that 12 points, so the biggest amount of points of countries. So these are the countries that perfectly predicted winner. And bingo, here we have the 3 countries with the biggest predictive power. And the last chart, so the new fantastic Tableau feature allows me quickly visualize the path of maximum points given to the winner from different countries. So maybe let's check another year, 2014. So again, information about country, points distribution, and look at this, the 4 countries with the biggest predictive power perfectly predicted the winner. Okay, please go ahead. Play with this dashboard. It will be available, I think, today on my Tableau public account. Download it and remember, be in contact with friends from these countries from our fantastic Tableau conference to consult next Eurovision winner. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Anna. Now, judges, you have the opportunity to ask a couple of questions here. Rafi, I'm going to come to you first. What questions might you have for Anna?
Aren't I lucky? First of all, I just want to say congratulations to you, Anna, and also all the contestants. You've done an amazing job. I guess my question for you, Anna, is what inspired you to take on the piano theme, and how did you come up with the idea?
Okay, so I got this inspiration from music school books. When I heard the topic Eurovision, I was thinking I was learning music, and I wanted to create a dashboard related to the music. So at the top you have something like for the notes, or when you are learning to play guitar. So it's the staff chart, then the piano, and then the information about each melody, each different key from the piano.
And Klaus, do you have some questions?
Yeah, first of all, congratulations, Anna. You did an amazing job. I really love the piano theme, and it fits really well. I've got one question to your map. Did you have any concerns about Australia in this map? Because it's such a geographical outlier. And I would be interested in seeing how Australia looks on your map.
No, unfortunately, Australia didn't give the maximum 12 points to any of these countries. So.
Okay.
Australia, statistically insignificant. Sorry, Aussies in the room. Sorry. Thank you very much indeed, Anna. Let's move on to Tristan. Tristan, tell us about your Viz.
So, hello Berlin. Today I would like to tell you something, why Eurovision actually is fun to watch. I think I and you and everybody else has a lot of assumptions with Eurovision, and I will discover, or at least explore 3 of them. So the first one is you need 10 or 12 points to actually win the Eurovision. Second one is country preferences make Eurovision predictive, and the third one is the Netherlands never wins. I looked up the rules for Eurovision, and I noticed that one thing is always the same. The winner always has most points. And let's depart from here and take a look at my dashboard. I've designed an abstract map of Europe, displaying its countries and in what way they border each other. Then if I look to the right-hand side, I can see for the country the specifics, in this case for the 2019 edition, and see what distribution of points they received. I can select a country and see what happens. My dashboard also auto-selects. And you see, it auto-selects the winner. So you can also see, yes, that the Netherlands actually won this year. I can test further from here. So I can, for instance, see that Italy has like a big yellow chart, has had a lot of points, and I can see how the distribution have been here. That's super interesting. It's waving around. And if we go back to the Netherlands, I can see that they didn't receive that much 10 and 12 points. They actually scored 5, 6, 7 on average. So let's take a look further and, for instance, look at Russia. And then you see something interesting here as well. So the chart is skewed towards 10 and 12 points, and I see also that a lot of countries gave 0 points. So let's depart from here. Let's drill down. Do country preferences exist? Do you need great friends or better, like friendly neighbors to actually get a nice score in Eurovision? So I can toggle, and then I see the distribution. Blue is the highest, purple is a little bit... Purple is a little bit less. And I can see that for Russia, yes, they have great neighbors. So let's go back to the Netherlands and see what happens there. So I see that, the Belgian neighbors actually gave us 12 or 10 points. So thank you, Belgium. But then I see for Germany, not so great, actually. But don't worry, with this dashboard, we will track your progress next year in Amsterdam. So I can go back and forth in time, so all jokes aside. And then I can come to the conclusion that, yes, a lot of 10 and 12 points may make you win, but not necessarily. And country preferences might exist, but keep in mind that the one who wins is the one with the best average. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much indeed, Tristan. Over to the judges. Andy, I'm going to come to you first.
Great job, Tristan. In fact, great job to all of you. These are just astonishing pieces of work, so thank you very much for entertaining us and informing us. Also, I noticed you drew the biggest cheer from the crowd in the 20 minutes just by adding an animated GIF to the thing, which I don't know if that says something about you or the crowd, but well done, you played to the crowd, so I highly love that. Can you tell us a little bit about the technique you used to build a map? Because that's some next level stuff.
Yes. Yeah, I have the microphone. Okay, great. Now I say yes. What I had to do was I had to plot all the countries on the map. And what's great in Tableau that mapping is alike like making scatter plots. The biggest challenge, of course, was not putting the tiles on the map and portraying all the neighbors, but also giving the distribution, like displaying the distribution in the yellow and blue chart. That is it, yeah.
All right, awesome.
Thank you.
I can't wait to download it and rip it to pieces. I mean, understand how you built it.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Praise indeed.
Next question, Louis.
Anne, do you have any questions for Tristan?
Yes, I've got two. First, congratulations. I'm so happy that you guys are all here. This is exciting. So did you add the sparkle just for me? Was that a last-minute touch?
Yes, the purple is for you.
Of course, thank you. And then the second is, tell me a little bit about your color choices. It's particularly when you switch to the toggle and you show the purple and the blue. Talk me through your choices. I mean, you've got a lot of bright colors going on. What was the inspiration and genesis behind that idea?
So I've really tried to work on the coloring and on transparency. And what is really nice is that you can play with colors a lot, and then you can also see that the tiles pop out. This has been something which I've really thought about, and of course, I've also thought about which colors go well with the black background and make the tiles pop out more, so that you can actually see where the distribution is going on the map.
Thank you very much indeed, Tristan. Let's hear it again once more time for Tristan. Simon, your turn. Tell us about your Viz.
Sure. So my goal was to build a visualization which is almost as fun to interact with than watching the Eurovision Song Contest. So as we're in Berlin, as I'm German, let's start with the selection of Germany. And first you see this cool bump chart which has some set actions here to highlighting. where you can see all the different rankings for Germany. And you can spot, for example, one insight here in 1996, where Germany did not make it to the final. And fun fact, afterwards, they changed the regulations, and from now on, we will always be in the final. Below that, you get some general information about the winning song, and then you get 2 jitter plots showing the average points and the total points. And the average points here, you can see how good Germany was compared to the different years. So we had 6.5 points on average in 2010 from all the countries that could vote it. And there were some other years where we had a better average, but we could not win the contest. And in 2015, we got the awesome average score of 0.0 points. So as Mark also already said, I tried to build a really interactive dashboard, so a lot with parameter actions. So almost every dot here is selectable. And one example here, when I click on Greece, then the entire dashboard gets updated and now shows the ranking and all the stuff for Greece. So here on the right, you see a bubble chart, where you can see how many countries gave points to us. And in this case, or not to us, to Greece, sorry. In this case, 3 countries gave 8 points to Greece, and it is Germany, Iceland, and Portugal. So go on to the map, and with height and sheet containers, it's really easy now to enlarge the map, which also could solve the Australia issue, perhaps. And now on the map, we have this cool tooltip, so visualization in the tooltip, which shows you the distribution of any points ever given by one country to another country. So I'm hovering over Iceland, so I see the points given by Iceland to the selection Greece. And you can see here that Iceland never gave any points to Greece. Very contrary to Cyprus, which almost every time gives their 12 points to Greece. So you can see that the Eurovision is not only some cool music show, but it also reflects some of the political and cultural relationships within Europe. But let's minimize the map, and I think we have enough, seen enough dashboards and enough data. So at the end, it's about entertainment and Europe, what Europe thinks is good entertainment. And in 2006, it was this.
I'm sure we all remember Lordi and Hard Rock Hallelujah. Thank you very much indeed, Simon. Andy, I'm going to come to you again. What questions might you have for Simon?
Yeah, again, congratulations. There's just such a crisp design with just magenta and grey, really pops out the insights that you're trying to find. You've also packed this dashboard full of new features, right? I might be stealing your question here, Rafi. But,
did you see me write it down?
Did you write that question down? Oh dear, sorry. Tell us about which is the best new feature you found, and how is it changing the way you can tell a story?
So the cool feature actually is the parameter actions for me. So because now it's really interactive, you can click on, as I said, every point and the whole dashboard changes, and it's not filtering, but it's, you have possibilities for interaction which you didn't have before. So that's really, really cool. And of course, set actions are also cool. And of course, show and hiding sheets is also cool features, so not sure.
I love the way you expanded that map to really enhance the story. I think that was really clever.
And Anne, we'll come to you. Any questions that you might have for Simon?
Yeah, I think I'm really struck by the hot pink and gray, just the 2 colors. Talk us through why you decided to make such a stark design decision and really focus on color in this way.
I didn't hear you exactly, but the color expect how I choose the colors, right? Was that the question? Okay, all right. So more or less, I was inspired by the Eurovision logo, so I looked at the colors that the Eurovision is using, and often it's some kind of blue, pink, and some really fancy colors. So that's why I'm going for this pink and some kind of. What is it called in English? Not sure.
We won't penalise you for that. Do not worry. Let's hear it again for all 3 contestants.
Now, while our judges deliberate and tot up their scores, this is your last chance to get in your votes for your favourite contestant. Remember, it's hashtag IV and your contestant's name. So IV Anna for Anna, IV Tristan for Tristan, and Ivy Simon for Simon.
Right, I'm going back into the audience to pick on some unsuspecting volunteers. I will see you in a moment, Archana.
Yeah.
Hello, Bethany. Do you care to join us for a quick interview? So this is Bethany. You saw her all in the keynote yesterday doing a fabulous demo of Explain Data. Big hand for Bethany.
You guys know they're out of
Now, Explain Data is coming soon, but we've got a really exciting release of Tableau out there today, Tableau 2019.2. Tell us, what's your favorite thing about 2019.2?
I would have to say parameter actions, which you've seen in action on stage just right now. I think in Tableau development, what we're trying to do is make many domains accessible to everyone. Developers, UX design, analytics, and statistics, accessible to a single person. And that's really what parameter actions do. As the name suggests, they unify parameters and actions. So for those of you who aren't familiar with what these things are, an action is a way to trigger an event through selection of data points on a visualization, as Simon was just showing us. And a parameter is a way to capture end user input, which can then be used to drive many things like reference lines, calculations, custom SQL, URLs, titles, text, all kinds of things. And so that gives authors and designers unlimited possibilities, and that flexibility is awesome.
Thank you very much indeed. I think you are all going to be very powerful users of Tableau using parameter actions. I will join you back on the stage. Thank you, Bethany. Thank you.
And thank you to Louis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to announce that Twitter voting is now over. No more tweets, put your phones down. Now, while the judges are still totting up the scores, we're going to take a moment to hear from our Vizzers one last time to tell us why their contestant should win the competition this year. First up, it's Tom. Why should Anna win?
So it's a shame you've told everybody to stop voting. I can't sell to you now, but Anna is the clear winner. If I told you maybe from a few weeks ago, so I've never met Anna, she's used Tableau for less than a year. She's one of the most hardworking and friendliest people in an insanely friendly Tableau community. Now, yeah, actually. So she's been a delight to work with, and what she's done in 19 minutes, not 20 minutes and 20 seconds, Tristan, is actually...
That was a...
The shade. Is actually, she's managed to bring more musical elements to Eurovision than the UK have in the past 10 years combined. And there's one more thing that did it for me from an analytical perspective, which is when she swapped from, right now we see the judges there, and we know that the judges are the experts. The UK actually ranked third from a predictive standpoint. When she swapped to the televoting, the jury, we saw the UK dropped to the bottom 5, I think it is, bottom 6. Anyway, if anything, that told me that probably the UK as a general population should probably once in a while listen to experts. Now, I can't think of any other situations where that is relevant. But well done, Anna.
Thank you, Tom. On to Sophia. Same question for you. Why Tristan?
All right, so what are the criteria for winning Iron Viz? So first of all, it has to have outstanding design, compelling story, has to provide the analytical value, and in my opinion, Tristan, he just scores well for this. You know, you can't play piano without a dashboard, or bingo even, and I know, Tom, you've been waiting for so many, like, maybe half an hour to say this joke about time, right? But we did great. So what I like about Tristan's dashboard is, first of all, the analytical depth. So when you click on this toggle, you can actually understand what's happening with the voting system for the winning countries. So you understand that there is a pattern that neighbor countries actually do vote for each other, and probably it's not only about the song they sing. And of course, my favorite bit from the design perspective is look at that stars. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. And the map as well, so map which is not the map as we all established with you. So, and of course, Tristan had a really nice story. I really liked the bit about Russia, so it explains a lot, though, but never mind. So let's make Netherlands the winning country the second time.
Thank you, Sophia. And finally, last but by no means least, Mark, what makes Simon stand out today?
Yeah, sure, Louis. So Simon enters this competition by publishing on his Tableau Public a visualization about the emission credit system put in place by the European Union. Some of you might know this is a pretty complex topic, but the first time I saw that one, I was blown away because it was so clear, simple, insightful. Anyone could understand these really complex topics in only 3 sections. And today, it just stands out, like in less than 20 minutes as well. Don't worry. He's been able to condense his craft just to provide something like elegant, insightful, self-explanatory. And we obviously discover some pretty funny facts. So he comes from Germany, I come from France. So across this data set, we discover that Germany gave 60% of the time 0 point to France.
So close.
But don't worry, France, 62% of the time is 0 point as well. So we even, that's all right, that's all right.
Huh?
But to finish, I think he found a solution. He told me he doesn't want me to say that on stage, but he found a solution to crack the Eurovision. So you might see him next year representing Germany with his band, and he will be playing saxophone. Anyone supporting him? Yay!
Thank you, Mark. Now, judges, are you ready, or do you need some more time?
Just a few more minutes.
Just a few more minutes.
A few more minutes. Right, everybody, get ready for the unprepared filler.
Does that say I have 38 seconds left? Okay.
Firstly, let's just talk and remind ourselves about what our judges are scoring our contestants on against today. So essentially, you have 3 criteria: design, analysis, and storytelling. Each of those criteria is weighted equally. So the points are essentially of equal importance. We add them up all at the end. We're adding in the Twitter votes as we speak. And once they're done, we shall go and get the result. Ooh, I see a golden envelope. I'm off.
And Klaus, do you want to do the honors with that magnificent Iron Viz trophy?
Yes.
How long can we make this dramatic pause? And the winner is...
Simon Stusak!
Congratulations, Simon. You're an Iron Viz champion. How do you feel?
Amazing, amazing. I'm not sure. Pretty good, brilliant, and awesome at the same time, I think. Thank you very much. It was an honor.
Let's hear it again for Simon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our judges, our vizzers, and of course our 3 incredible finalists. Thank you.
Now, everybody, we've got a few more hours of sessions this afternoon, but we'd like to take this moment to thank our sponsors, to thank our customer speakers, to thank the entire Tableau community, and most importantly, all of you for coming and making this such a fabulous and wonderful week. And by the way, we'll see you in London next year. Goodbye!
Woo!
Well done, everyone! Well done. 1, 2, 3. Bow. Well done, team.
Well done, everyone.
Well done.